George Washington was one of those leaders we will never forget.
George Washington fought in the Revolutionary War. America lost more battles than they won. They fought in the 13 colonies. This is Valley Forge. He was the one who stayed forever. No matter how long it will be, no one could ever whip past him. He was the one who led us to victory.
After the British evacuated Boston on March 17, 1776, General George Washington guessed correctly that the next target would be New York. This battle occurred on August 27, 1776. They had lost this battle. On September 15, 1776, George Washington and his officers considered abandoning and even burning New York City after retreating from Long Island on August 29, 1776.
Early on the morning of September 16, 1776, George Washington was writing a letter to Congress. Before he could finish it, an alarm was sounded. Some British soldiers were spotted, so Washington sent 150 American Rangers. They had to retreat, but Washington sent 1,000 reinforcements. The soldiers didn't execute Washington's orders correctly, but still forced the British back. Washington was disappointed in his men, but was still happy he had won their first battlefield victory. The soldiers were elated.
This is a famous painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware River to get to the Battle of Trenton.
On December 26, 1776, after his famous crossing of the Delaware, Washington and his soldiers went to Trenton, New Jersey. The weather was bad, so Washington pressed his soldiers to move on. With Washington leading the middle of 3 columns of men, shortly after 8 o'clock, they started their charge. They had maintained the element of surprise. During the battle, Washington continued to counter Colonel John Rawls' plan to outflank the Continental Army. Even though many Hessians escaped, Washington won a crucial victory. They also captured nearly 900 Hessian officers and soldiers, as well as a large supply of muskets, bayonets, swords, and cannons in only 1 hour.
This is the Battle of Brandywine on September 11, 1777, marked the end of a long period of frustration for the Continental Army. Following defeats at Brandywine, Paoli, and the British capture of Philadelphia on September 26, 1777, George Washington attempted to gain the initiative. He received that opportunity a week later when British General William Howe divided his army on October 4, 1777.
This is the Battle of Monmouth. George Washington emerged his troops in a new line on heights behind marshy ground, used his weapons to fix the British in their positions, then brought up a 4-gun battery under Major General Nathan Greene on a nearby Combs Hill to enfilade the British line, requiring Wallace to withdraw. Finally, Washington tried to hit the exhausted British rear guard on both flanks, but darkness forced the end of the engagement.
This is the Yorktown Campaign on September 28th to October 19th, 1781. This is when we finally won the war. No him, no freedom.
A people who are possessed of the spirit of commerce, who see and who will pursue their advantages may achieve almost anything. George Washington.
Washington resigned his position as Commander-in-Chief on December 23, 1783.
There was always one thing he kept in the back of his mind. That was freedom.
Freedom.
George Washington.
1732 to 1799.
Take notice.